Hi there, my name's Greg Brunk. I am new to YouTube here with the posting and whatnot, so I'd mentioned I put a video on the other day of my wood shop arrangement and layout, and I'd mentioned that I was going to do a video on the workbench that I built. Actually, I completed it in 2010. So this is a video to kind of describe the things that I was looking for and what I was trying to achieve in building a bench. So hope you enjoy it. It took me about 2 years from start to finish, from the design to construction. So it was a rather lengthy project, and I did a lot of research in the meantime. I can't stress that enough. People that are looking at building a bench, there's a lot of books out there available with different styles, different types, and I would highly recommend doing all the research you can on the workbenches and kind of have in mind what kind of work and tasks you want to do with your bench. Most of my woodworking has been, I do a little bit of 18th century furniture reproduction work, and I do carving as well for that. So that was really the majority of what tasks I needed to perform with my bench. And so far in the 2 years I've had it completed, it's been able to pretty much do everything I needed it to do. So let me pick up the camera and take you on a little walk around here. So first of all, some of the particulars on the bench. The bench is 8 foot long, 96 inches long from end to end, and it's 34 inches wide also, 34 inches wide. This vise here on the face vise, I used Veritas twin screws and then custom made my own covers out of walnut and inlaid a medallion with my name on it to put in the center of the cover on the twin screw. So these are 24 inches between. The vise at the other end is likewise it's 24 inches in between the centers. I kind of each piece of furniture I make, I got in the habit of inlaying a silver eagle. I don't want to seem to focus. A silver eagle coin in the end of the covers. Yeah, it's kind of hard to get with the light reflecting, but I kind of do that with each piece of furniture to mark the year that I actually made it. As I say, this one's also a 24-inch between centers, which would be sufficient enough for large panels and also seats for like Windsor chairs, things of that nature. This item here, I call it a bench buddy. I got it, it was published in Fine Woodworking, and I think they called it a tool caddy. But I entered that in Fine Woodworking, and they selected it for methods of work section that's in their magazine, and it was pretty simple to make. And I one of the things I wanted not to do was put a tool till on the bench and use that space up. So my idea was I come up with this thing, and it's basically just a little tray with various size notches in it in widths that allows you to put different size tools, chisels, squares, things like that. And then the open area, you can put planes, and then I made this little filler piece that I used to hold scrapers and rules and pencils in. And the thing I like about it is it's got It's got a dowel, 3/4 inch dowel in the middle, so I can pick it up and locate it anywhere along the edge of the workbench in any hole where I happen to be working, and it's handy. I liked it so much I made a bigger one. This was actually the first one I made. It was bigger, and this is the one that I submitted to Fine Woodworking with the longer tray on it. And I can keep my planes in there, and again, a little holder for pencils and rules and the different tools you have. It just kind of keeps your workbench a little more organized so stuff's not laying all over. And again, I can take that, pull that up off of there and just slide it down and plug it in another hole on the bench top. So it seemed to solve my problem, and not and then I still have the whole use of my top if I want to take it off and not utilize it at all. The reason for all the holes is I use this bench also. I know a couple people after I built it said, "Why'd you put so many holes in it?" Well, I got a fixture here. I don't know if the light will get it or not. Yeah, there it is. That fixture I made up, and that's what I utilized to drill all the holes in the top of the bench. You see those two dowels? Those fit into two outside holes. And then if you look, you can see some 2-inch maple square blocks that are glued and screwed, and then they got a 3/4 inch hole in the center of them. And then that's what I use as a bushing to drill down through the top of the workbench. And it made all the holes uniform, the spacing on them line up exactly doing it. And I started down at this end and put it in and drilled, and then just came all the way up the bench. As I say, I use the bench for doing a lot of glue ups. It really makes for a nice panel glue up assembly. I'll stick the dogs in the vise down there, and then I can use either one of these here planing stops, position them wherever I want, and then I can use the force of the vise to clamp all the boards together while they're gluing up. And there's all kind of different arrangements and directions I can go by having the dog holes located as I do. I think there's close to 100 holes in everything, and the holes going through this vise jaw were about 7 inches long, and it drilled out pretty good. It worked pretty good for me. So then, of course, on the front, I put some vise hole or some dog holes on the front of the faces of the apron, and then I made this sliding dead man that runs along the front of the toolbox. The wood here on this top is that's basically the only thing I purchased. This is a butcher block top that I purchased about 30 miles from my house. It's 2.5 inches thick of finger jointed maple. So rather than, it was cheaper for me to purchase this top and cut it down and work with it than it was to glue up the maple and buy it. So that was really the only thing I purchased as a complete. I bought the maple top, and then I put the banding apron around it and drilled all the holes and that type of thing. So it worked out pretty good. Like I say, it's 2.5 inches thick. And I'm a big fan of Holdfast, as you can see. Those things are great. I use them all the time to secure wood if I'm mortising or whatever I happen to do. They just really make it nice to put your work down and hold it in place. And they really hold really well. I put some almost like cork on the bottom pads of the Holdfast to keep from marring any of the wood. And they go in easy, they come out, you tap them on the back and they come right back out. And I got enough holes I can pretty much hold anything secure in any position on the top. One of the other thing, couple just little aids I made for the Workbench are these little, I call them planing stops, but I've got random hole positions and locations. So if I, since this is not a quick release vise, if I want to be able to limit my number of rotations on cranking something down, I just grab one of them, I hang it up on the wall, and I use it in whatever link piece I want to secure. I can use any one of the holes and links to limit the amount of rotation that I have to make on the vise. So I use those a lot on pieces just to eliminate a lot of the rotating of the vise. The jaws, as I say, the chops are about 2.5 inches, 2 3/4. Maple, I laminated those, and they're about 7 inches deep, the height of the apron. The walnut, even though the top's 2.5, the apron's 7 inches, and I just wanted to, I did that to make the chops and the apron match up in height. Most of this material, other than the walnut apron, down below the base unit, I have 2 trestles made that support it. These are from pallet material that I got years ago. I went into a pallet factory and it was all green lumber, and I purchased a bunch and let it dry it out for about 7 years, and then I planed it down. Even the walnut, it's hard to believe they would take a piece of walnut, but they typically make the pallets out of what they call cants, or the center of the tree, which is the most unstable part. So I bought all the ones I could find that were of good size like these, and brought them home, and then I ended up using them. Them are all one piece walnut posts. I didn't have to laminate any of that, and the same with the cherry foot base on it. That's a cant as well. So all the pedestals were pretty much pallet material, to say the least. The cabinet there in the bottom I made, I wanted to be able to store my hand tools and have them handy and utilize that space, and also add the weight of the bench. The apron at the very bottom, I made just to stabilize the bench. I've got one long thread-all rod going all the way. There's a mortise inside that bottom rail that I cut in before I glued it up with the other. It's 2 pieces of cherry glued together, and I run I think it's a 1/2 inch or 5/8 rod down through the center, and then I made some, if I can get around here, I made some caps that I capped it off with for the to cover where the nuts go on the rod that goes through there. You can see the shelf, the cabinet on the inside there with the dovetails on the bottom. That I just made out of poplar. That's just poplar, but all the rest of this bench is maple, walnut, and predominantly cherry. If I did it again after I did it, afterthoughts, I would have made that bottom rail, I would have made it just a tad lower, not as high, amount to give me one more large drawer. You see this bottom drawer right here? I don't know, that's probably 3.5 inches high. So I would cut the height down about 3.5 inches to allow me one more large drawer, and then that in turn would give me 2 more of these smaller drawers. I got the small drawers on the right, and then a couple small ones on the left, and then 2 large ones. So as an afterthought, I would probably make that bottom rail just a little bit shorter, and give myself another, actually it'd account for 3 more drawers. And you can hold a lot in these drawers. I have 18-inch full extension glides on it. And let me try and get in here and see if I can open some drawers and show you what I've got in them. This one I have all my layout and measuring tools, dividers, compasses, tri-squares, calipers, and all that kind of stuff. I bought this foam core board that I cut out, and I use it to put the tools in. And in the second drawer I keep, this is some of my saws, my dovetail saws and flush cutting saws and some blades and cutting supplies in this drawer. And let's see, the next drawer I got some more tools, a scraper, some plane blades, marking gauges, spoke shaves, some other scrapers, some draw knives, and then a little box of small detail files. And let's see, the next one. This one I've got my number 7 plane in, and I got the 62 Lie-Nielsen that I use a lot, and then some other Lie-Nielsen block planes, scrub planes, a 4.5, and I forget the number on that compass plane. That's an old Stanley compass plane, but I forget the number. And then there's a small router plane. So that's this side. As you can see, you can store a lot of tools in the drawers. So let me go over here. This is my chisel cabinet. I got my mortise chisels in here, and my Lie-Nielsen chisel set as well, with some other chisels there in the back, an old Stanley Everlasting, I think it's called. And then I got a collection I got over years of, eBay, I picked up a lot of, what's it called, Weatherby chisels. And then I'd get them and I'd refurbish them, sharpen them all up, make some cocobolo and Purple Heart handles for it, and repurpose the chisels. And then down here I got several carving chisels that I've collected over time that I use for some of the furniture details that I carve. So that's this drawer here, and some more chisels down here in this drawer. The drawers aren't very tall, as I say, but if you arrange it and work stuff out, then I got a whole drawer full of files and rasps. This is the files and rasp collection that I use, and burnishing tools, so they're all on the bottom shelf. So everything's pretty well handy to grab, and so I don't have to go searching too far for the tools, and then it adds ballast to the workbench. The weight of the workbench, I'm going to guess there's around 460 pounds. I know that, I don't know if I mentioned, I got a pattern maker's vise over here, and that's an excellent vise to use for carving. I use that to do a lot of carving, holding ball and claw and things of that nature. So that vise alone, I think, was right around 80 or 90 pounds. That's a heavy son of a gun. So I bought that and put that on there. And so I've got that plus the other two vices. Vise, probably just the weight in the vices alone, I've got close to 200 pounds or better just in vise weight, between the chops, the metal screws, and the hardware. So that adds a lot of weight and stability. The thing don't budge at all, to say the least. And I broke it. I set it up so it'll break down to 5 pieces, I think. The top, the 2 trestles, the cabinet, the tool cabinet slides out, and then the 2 side aprons are actually, there's four aprons going between the trestle tops. Those break down once you pull the nuts off and pull the rods out. So it'll break down to a manageable size to move. I wanted to do that. That was one thing I was a little leery about, building a bench that I could not take apart and relocate, because someday this won't be mine, and I want my grandson Hopefully he's going to be a woodworker. I'm counting on it because I got a lot of tools to give him. But hopefully he'll be able to get this thing out of here and take it to where he lives and put it back together and serve him for some time. So I don't know what else to add. If I did it over, I don't know. I guess I could eliminate some of the holes. Maybe I would eliminate some of them, but I think I'd still want a minimum amount so I could do my glue ups as I was mentioning. The glue up is just so nice to do on this. I got some white or some construction paper that I lay down when I glue up, that I lay on top of the bench top, and then I don't care if glue squeezes out, it gets on the paper. But to have this much length and this much width to glue flat panels, it saves me using my bar clamps that I still use, but not as much as I used to, because I have the clamping capability of this thing. On the back side, it's I don't even know if it'll show. The back side, I just made a raised panel for the back of the cabinet, and it pretty much looks this, it's poplar, same coloration. But yeah, I think I'd make that bottom apron rail just about 3.5 inches shorter than what it is, and I think it'd still be stable enough from a mechanical standpoint, but it'd give me 3 more drawers, which, you never seem to have enough workspace or storage space on your workbench. So there's a view looking down underneath the bottom of the bench, and the top. You can see the side of the tool cabinet in there, and you can lace that. That can collect some dust, but I can get in there and clean that out if I need to. And let's see if that comes out any better now. There, you can see it a little bit. It's still hard to focus. But it was basically a labor of love, and like I said, it took me about 2 years from start to finish, and it's been a good bench, and I don't think I'm going to have to ever replace it. But there are a lot of good bench designs out there. From a clamping standpoint, I must say that I'm not running anything that I can't secure rather easily with the bench. Everything's worked out between the face vise and the tail vise and the cabinet maker's vise, and then all the dog holes. I've been able to secure. There was an article I read the guy wrote. I can't remember what his name was, but the article basically covered all the possibilities of what a bench needs to be able to do as far as clamping, and he had 7 or 8 different illustrations of things you need to do, and if you could do those, you could pretty much do anything you want to do. And a couple of them was supporting and holding drawers, to finish drawers off, planing them. So yeah, with the size of the vices, I got plenty of capacity. They're plenty strong, and everything seems to work pretty good for us. I've been very happy with it, and the dead man works well. I haven't had to, like I say, this is a 8-foot bench, so most of the pieces I work with are usually less than 6 foot long, so I haven't had much need to use the dead man, for anything. But it's there if I do, and I could also use it on the other side of the bench. So I'm going to get this thing published to YouTube. Sorry for I'm not a professional by any means, as you can tell. So show me a little mercy on the video capability. I put some extra lights in here so I could light the best I thought I could. So if you got any questions, I guess you could put them on the post for it. So 2010, didn't have a whole lot of extra activity going on there, mostly building workbenches. So thanks everybody for watching the video. Have a good day. Bye.